Alright, good morning and welcome to part 5 of this Saito FA-200Ti mystery engine. So this engine has given me fits at every conceivable means. So I have it all reassembled now. I've got it retimed, and actually I did that yesterday, and I was going through the compression, and to me I guess it feels like there's compression every 360 degrees. Now this rear cylinder just has a little bit lighter compression still, and I say still because, hang on, let me feel. Because of the fact that I did actually detect a slight leak in the intake valve area. So what I did was, that's one of the reasons why I've got this exhaust stub on here. I was going back and forth between the two with the valves up and the push rods all the way down and blowing in there, and I could hear and feel just a slight leak here. So I had just removed this head again for the third or fourth time. Dropped the valves. I didn't take any video or pictures of that, but these valves look, I mean, they look like they just came off the production floor. They're so shiny. The only parts that are a little dark is at the top where they've really hardened them from the heat treating. But I mean, they're not dark from carbon, they're just dark from looking like they've been heat treated up there. So what I did was, individually I was blowing in there and holding my finger up on the valve, and I could still feel a little bit of a leakage there. So I just took a little bit of really mild toothpaste, put it on the bottom of the valve, and just put it up there, just did a little bit of lapping just by hand. And I don't feel or hear a leak there anymore at all. However, there still is just a slight amount of compression difference, and I don't have one of those silly compression gauges. Yeah, I think I still hear just a little bit out of there, but I mean, we're just gonna have to deal with that right now and just hope that when this thing fires up and starts running, that valve will seat a little bit better. But I mean, the valve seat looks fine. It's a brand new engine. It really is. But why it had so many weird issues is just beyond me at this point. Somebody's been inside of it. Somebody did something to it. I can't explain exactly what, because I don't believe that an engine of this nature, this complexity, and this cost factor would have left the Saito factory in a state that I got it. So I believe that somebody still has been in there. So the next step for me is just to, and I've reset these valves. God, I can't even tell you how many times I've reset these valves now, hoping that maybe I just had something wrong with the valve. See, this front cylinder's really got good compression. This one is not quite as strong, but hoping that I just had something not right with the valve lash, but that's not the case. So we're just going to take this down to the stand now, bolt it back up there. First test will be priming. See how it takes a prime. Make sure it's not priming and then blowing it back out. That's step one. That's step one of determining whether I've got the timing right, is if it sucks fuel going both ways through the prop rotation cycle. If it does, then the engine should fire, and once it fires, then hopefully things will start seating properly, and we'll be good to go. So hopefully a little bit later on this morning or today, we'll be able to get this on the stand and do that. Okay, so here is the continuation of part 5. I just showed a summary of exactly what I did as far as resetting the timing per what I had been reading about on RC groups. So now it's back on the stand, and I'm still having an issue with, as I rotate the prop, at one point it sucks fuel and at another point it blows it back into the tank. So right now there is no fuel in this line at all, and what I'm going to do is, I don't have a prop on here, so I'm going to be turning this by hand, but I'm going to be turning it very, very slowly. So I want you to pay attention to two things, if possible, at the same time, and I'll do this several times. Pay attention to the fuel in this line and bubbles. Maybe I can get that to stand up a little bit more so it's easier to see. And what's happening with the intake and the exhaust. I was just doing this, and to me it's just confusing because you got two cylinders here, and to me it looked like it was drawing fuel on an exhaust valve moving down. But I'm just going to do this a few times and just watch. So right now I blew the fuel back out, so there's no fuel in this line whatsoever. So hopefully you can just kind of see that. I'm going to just start rotating slowly. It's blowing right now. Oh, sorry, I have to cover the carb. Alright, let's start this again. I'm covering the carb. It's blowing into the tank. Slowly blowing into the tank. I can hear the bubbles. Now it's pulling fuel in. I'm not seeing, I'm standing above it, so it's a little harder for me to see. So there's fuel in the line right now. Now it's starting to, it's sucking again, fuel. And now it's pushing it back. And it was pushing it back, it looked like, on this intake stroke going up. So right now it's starting to suck some again. If I can get down here at a lower angle, maybe I can see. So it would look like it was sucking in on that. And it's blowing now. Hoping you can see this in the fuel line. And of course now the throttle levers. Let me hold the throttle. So it's, you can see the throttle. I don't know if you can see the throttle lever in my, no, the throttle lever was actually moving too. It's drawing fuel in, blowing fuel out now. You can hear it going back into the tank. So to me it seems like everything that's wrong with this engine seems to revolve around the rear cylinder. It seemed like it was a front cylinder that was drawing fuel in. It's drawing fuel in now. And that intake valve is down on the rear and it's blowing it back in. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to think about this now. Hopefully you were able to see that fuel in the fuel line and the valve action, because it just doesn't make sense. I mean, yes, I'm still not sure now if I think that somebody's been in this engine or if this engine was just put together wrong at the factory. I mean, obviously either timing is wrong or we've got a wrong camshaft someplace. Maybe the camshafts need to be swapped. I mean, there's, you know, how many permutations of things can I change here? Between two timing dots and or a timing line and two different timings on here, one where you can use a tool and one where you don't. So you could do that both ways on each cylinder. So there's like 4 iterations there, and then you could do the same thing by swapping the camshafts and doing that. So that's like another 4 or 5 iterations of things that you could try, and it's like I don't have this much time to be spending on this engine. I've already spent a lot more time on this engine than I really can afford. I've got 2 customer engines right now that have arrived that I need to be working on, and I really just don't have the time to mess with this anymore. So I'm thinking about just benching this for now, and I don't know where I'm going to go with this right now. So that's your part 5 video.